What's up, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking about life as a Christian business owner. Now, I just feel like there's not enough transparency out there. Everyone's flexing their 100K a month Stripe snapshots and this and that. They're drop shipping stores. You got people flexing Lamborghinis and rentals and Bugattis and whatnot. So I just want to keep it real on this channel. We're going to be talking about life as a Christian business owner. We're going to be talking about business operations, specifically offer building and everything of that sort. And I'm essentially going to be showing you the back scene of my entire business, how I'm starting essentially from ground up, where I've gotten to so far, and where the vision is of where we're trying to go. So I'm going to brief you on every single thing. Now, if you are a business owner, specifically like selling to customers, so B2C, right? I have a separate YouTube channel explaining B2C marketing strategies, which is what I specialize in. But if you're specifically a B2B person, so your business is selling to other businesses, this YouTube channel is going to be for you, especially if you're doing it while trying to put God in the center. So, right off the bat, I want to get into kind of some of the things and the expectations that come with being a business owner in this day and age and being Christian. Number one, right? So the focus is to be less about ourselves, less about the business, less about the money that's coming in, and more about glorifying God through serving others. That's specifically what I have been struggling with. I do feel like as though in this day and age, with the resources that you're given, you're kind of prompted to be selfish, right? So what I mean by that is, especially if you're a young man and you've started your online business, whether you're doing drop shipping, whether you're doing a marketing agency, whether you're doing a AI business or whatever it is that you're doing, you're constantly surrounded by the toxic world of rental cars, Stripe snapshots, PIFs and sales and close rates and all these different things, which obviously, as you get more technical, the more useful it gets. But all the way at the top, it's the very worship of money. And we know as Christians that this is unacceptable to God. So the key question that it comes down to is, how do you put yourself to the side? You serve others while essentially glorifying God, right? Because the whole premise is that if you serve others, you will get paid. But we put getting paid first, right? And so that's exactly how we end up in sort of a sticky situation. Now, one of the things that I have been personally struggling with that I have written down over here is constantly questioning if I should even be in business. And the reason why I question that is not because I don't like business. I love doing business. I love everything that comes with it, and even the stress a little bit, right? But I question if I should be in business because I question my motives, if I'm doing it for money, if I'm doing it for serving others. And if you've been in that situation, and it's kind of like a tough situation to be in, because you're kind of essentially not working as hard as you should be because you're questioning your motives. So if you're at that point, I would suggest that you essentially just sit down and maybe don't do anything for a couple of days. If you're at that point where you can afford to not do anything for a couple of days, and just look at yourself and ask yourself what it is that you really want. If you realize that this whole time you've been working hard, you've been doing your outreach, you've been trying to connect with business owners and get clients or whatever it is, because you want to make money and you want to fly to Dubai and you want to do all the stuff that you see on the internet, there's a high chance that as a Christian business owner, you should stop and reevaluate things and see if there's a deeper reason. If you're doing it just for money, I promise you're better off getting something else, right? You're better off starting in a different field or doing something else that is going to be more productive for your soul and is going to glorify God more. Because I mean, pretty self-explanatory. If you're doing something solely for money, then you're going to fall into the trap of like chasing money and worshiping idols, which is like, you don't have to put a statue of something in your room and start bowing down to it. If you dedicate most of your time to the love of money or love of anything else other than God, that is in within itself idolatry. So that being said, um, essentially what it came down to for me is I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. I have to grow this business because if I quit now, I won't be able to just, I won't be able to kind of forgive myself for it. And it's not about as it's not as much about the money as it is about using the gifts that God has given us to actually do whatever it is that we're supposed to do. So, for example, when I was a kid, I was very heavy into robotics, right? There was this little after school program that I went to that taught us about robotics and whatnot. And I just loved programming little tiny robots, nothing fancy, of course. This is like middle school. But I loved programming those little, if else functions that, hey, if the sensor sees this, then do that. And essentially would build like little robots that would like, drive around the table. And if like the tape was red and it was stopped, then it would turn around, et cetera, right? So because I had a passion for something like that and I had a passion for creating, I ended up finding myself like in business at first, um, because I was essentially chasing money. At first, I started my business because I wanted to, get all this money. I want to uh, pay out all my family members and stuff like that. I want to make sure they were good. But in the very end of it, it was just money, right? But the reason why I stuck with it after year one is because when I had that reevaluation step of like, okay, why am I really doing this? It came down to me just loving the process of creation. I love creating workflows. I love creating automations. I love creating campaigns. I love split testing between different like ads. Like I actually enjoy the process, right? So if you're not someone that's actually going to enjoy the process, then when it gets tough, you're not going to be able to endure. You're going to be like, you know what? Screw this. Why am I doing this? I'm better off doing X, Y, and Z because you're in it for the money or whatever else it was, but you're not in it for the love of the process as well, right? So there's been nights where I've stayed up until 5 a.m. with who is now my fiance, at the time my girlfriend, stayed up until 5 a.m. just recording ad creative, split testing different things, and she would help me set up my camera and everything like that. And I did all that for free. At the time, I wasn't getting paid for that. And yeah, I guess not to get too long winded. The reason why I stuck around is because I actually love the process. Right now, I was doing it for a case study at the time, so I was working for free, and I had no idea if it was going to work or not. I had no idea if like I'm over here, you know, at 5 a.m. working for free. How am I going to get to the point of X, Y, and Z? However, I essentially persevered through that stage because I loved the process. I enjoyed what I was doing anyway, so I might as well I kept doing it. So if that's not the motivator for you, then you're going to be having a very hard time actually sticking with with the process, right? Number 2, which is very important, is and yeah, essentially, not to be too long winded, I'm going to have more YouTube videos coming on this channel. So go ahead and tune in. The next videos that you see are going to be more structured. This one was kind of like a intro to the channel, I guess, if you will, kind of like giving you a preview of what the channel is going to be about. But we're going to have specific steps on what you can do to get more business as a young business owner, a young online business owner. We're going to be talking about marketing basics. We're going to be talking about offer creation. And obviously, we're going to be talking about putting God first through all of this. And we're going to we're going to create something unique. Okay, we're going to create a I guess a community of young men that are not motivated um by the idea of getting a Bugatti or a Lamborghini and going to Dubai and flexing and whatnot, right? All of that is sickening and disgusting to me. Every time I see that, I want to vomit. And I'm hoping that there's a lot more people out there just like me that feel the same way and that are in business in this day and age because they want to provide for their family, they want to start a family, they want to have as much freedom for their children as possible, right? I don't want my kids going to public school nowadays. So with all that in mind, if you are one of those business owners that is really doing this for not just the money and not just themselves, and go ahead and subscribe, and we'll start building that community of like-minded individuals. And like I said, there's going to be more actual tips, valuables, offer building, all this different stuff coming in. I'm going to essentially show everyone the behind the scenes of my own company building process, and I'm just going to document my journey, and maybe we can learn a few things from each other. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, and God bless you.